From the firstregional.com studios, this is a Severe Weather Live update.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Derek here, going over, as Cameron mentioned, we are watching a few storms here and there. We actually have our first warning of the day. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible for our folks over here as we head towards the very northern and central section of Saline County. This right now is mainly north of the Benton and Bryant area, but as you can see over in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, we are watching this storm on our Alexander camera right now. Has exhibited signs of rotation, has exhibited a wall cloud as well. So we are continuing to watch this storm as well. But again, right now, for my folks in Avila on up towards the Ferndale area, this is the area we are currently watching for that possibility of rotation in the storm. As you can see right here, just to the west of Avila, and you can see the well-defined wall cloud on the storm as well from our Alexander camera as well. So again, we are looking about 10 miles or so to the northwest on our camera there in the corner. Again, not a tornado warning yet, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it, moving off towards the northeast here at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Again, this storm is moving into an environment that is slowly increasingly favorable for tornadic development. So again, we wanted to get on air and let y'all know that, hey, we are watching this. It's currently over Lake Norrell right now. It's going to be moving towards the Ferndale area here within the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. And then obviously, of course, on downstream, our folks in Morgan and Maumelle as well. But right now, again, with our rotation, as you can see, well-defined area of rotation here just to the northwest of Avila. So again, this is going to be moving upwards towards areas of Ferndale, Natural Steps, Roland, places like that. For my folks in the immediate Little Rock metro, this is going to stay just west of the metro area. As you can see right here's our storm. Here's the metro over here. So again, this is moving off here towards the northeast at about, Cameron, what is it, about 40, 45 miles an hour or so right now. So again, we're going to be watching this. This is not tornado warning yet, but we are watching for that possibility. We also have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has also just come out as well for our folks in Clark County, Dallas County, Hot Spring, and Pike.
Hey guys, so the storm down there near the Arkadelphia area, Derek, I know we got the one near the metro. That one is starting to exhibit rotation as well. That's just southwest of Arkadelphia. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. These storms are now starting to rotate. We talked about this in the stream earlier this afternoon, that we were going to have that potential of seeing these storms rotate ahead of the main line itself here. So I'm going to hand it back to you. But folks, if you are under these severe thunderstorm warnings right now, treat these, especially the one near the Little Rock area, as if it was a tornado warning, and go ahead and get that safe spot ready to go, because if a warning gets issued, it will happen pretty quickly here. And I'm starting to get reports now of a wall cloud near the one down there just southwest of Arkadelphia. So that one may go to a warning in any time here. So guys, do me a big favor, share this live stream, get this information out as quickly as possible here. Back to you, Derek.
Hey Cameron, can we pull up our camera in Alexander?
Yeah,
that way. Okay, that way we can get it. Well, let's get it on the screen itself, in large. Since we're not actually under a tornado warning just yet, but let's let everybody know what we are looking at as well. Because again, this is a storm system that's moving rapidly to the northeast now. It's finally starting to kick out. As you can see, the area that we are watching is right through here. Again, this is looking towards the Avila. Alexander is here. Benton and Bryant are about right here. This is our water tower here, just in the Bryant area. And so again, this is looking off towards the Avila area. Again, you can see it's still kind of rugged, but you do have a well-defined wall cloud. Let me come over here on this side here. Give y'all right, if you would, move this camera a little bit to the north here. But as you can see, we have a well-defined wall cloud right here, just to, again, here's the water tower in Bryant. Benton is over here. Benton, you are clear. This is our water tower in Bryant. And again, Avila is just off to the west here. So again, we still have signs of rotation. Nothing is defined. As you can see, the storm has been kind of going back and forth with this, but you can still see a well-defined lowering, especially right through here. So again, we're going to be watching this very the very bottom portion of this wall cloud to see if we get any sort of rotation over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. Again, so let's go back to our radar view, Cameron, just so we can get an idea. So again, this is what we are watching. It's currently 78 in Alexander, so that's what we are watching right now. Temperature is more than conducive. Our shear is not quite there just yet, but we are getting there. But again, this is going to be a very defined area, and this is why we've been harping so much on this Skycam project as well, because this is what you are able to see. We are able to see live where these storms are forming, where radar can't see on the ground. We are able to see it live on air. All right. But once again, we have a rotating storm. Again, it's still showing broad signs of rotation. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. It is not a tornado warning yet, but this storm can produce a tornado at any point in time. And this is currently over just to the north of Benton. Here's Benton. Little Rock is right here. This is just east of Hot Springs Village. So again, this is moving through the Avila area. Lake Norrell is right about. Lake Norrell is right here. Yes, sir.
Hey guys, just wanted to kind of break it in. The severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for the Hot Springs area will be updated to a tornado warning coming soon. So that one will be updated coming up shortly. A tornado warning will be coming for the Dallas, Clark, and the Pike County one that's near the. That's gonna be that one. Yeah, it's gonna be that one right there. So that's yes, Hot Springs County, not Hot Springs like downtown, but Hot Springs County. So Hot Springs, Dallas, Clark, and Pike County, a tornado warning will be coming shortly. For folks down there, you need to get this information out as quickly as you can, guys. And also, if you have anybody in the area, get them to safety immediately. Tornado warning has now been issued. First off the press here, tornado warning is now in effect here. That is going to go for it's going to go for Clark, Dallas, Pike, and also Hot Springs County as well. So back to you, Derek.
All right, so once again, as Cameron mentioned, we have a brand new tornado warning. Let's go in and zoom in on this storm. Cameron here again. We are not forgetting our folks in the metro, but we also have a brand new warning. This goes for my folks in Clark County. This does include Gurdon. It does include Arkadelphia. It does include Okolona. So once again, right here, very strong area. Right here, very strong area of rotation. This is moving off towards Arkadelphia. If you live in Arkadelphia, you need to be in your safe place right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is a situation that is developing as the storms are moving into central Arkansas. We are starting to see those areas of rotation get more defined. Again, we have a brand new tornado warning. This is ahead of our line of storms. This is what we were worried about in our live stream earlier, that we talked about, that if any storm form ahead of the main line, those would produce your greatest risk for severe weather, and yes, that possibility of tornadoes. So once again, for my folks in Gurdon, my folks in Arkadelphia, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Cameron, you got anything?
Hopefully you guys can hear me here, guys. So this is what we've got going right now here. So we have that tornado warning in place here. That's going to go for just southwest of the Arkadelphia area here, guys. So anyone in these areas that need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. Another thing, we are not ignoring you guys up there in central Arkansas. I want to make this crystal clear. Not ignoring you guys up here. Looks like they dropped that severe thunderstorm warning that was up here, but we're going to keep an eye on that. But folks that are near the Arkadelphia area here, you've got to get into your safe spot immediately here. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here, guys. Very urgent situation, my folks near the Arkadelphia area, and all the interest along Interstate 30 here. So, Derek, I'm going to take it right back to you. Go ahead.
All right, so Cameron, let's go on and blow this up on the screen. And if we can, let's get a street view going of this storm as well. Again, so this is just to the west of Garden. All right, folks. So Garden is right here. This is just to the west of Garden. Okay. So the zoom in. So right here's Garden. Okay, Garden's right here. Okolona, Arkadelphia. Again, this is right just to the west of Garden, folks. So again, if you live in Garden, you need to be in a safe place right now. Again, there's no rain, not much lightning. I know what's going on, but again, you are in what is called the cone of silence, meaning this is where the strongest potential is for a tornado to develop there or just to your west. So if you live in Garden, you need to be in a safe place right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Now, my folks in Arkadelphia, you need to be seeking shelter right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is a storm that has rapidly developed over the last 15 or 20 minutes and has gone from a little shower to a severe thunderstorm to a tornadic warning. Yes, sir.
All right, just got some new information from the National Weather Service here. A brand new tornado watch will be coming for those that are going to be east of the severe thunderstorm warning here. So just relaying some information to you guys right now here. But a brand new tornado watch will be coming shortly. Most likely it's going to be for central and possibly even eastern Arkansas, which we talked about earlier in the live stream here. So folks, severe weather is starting to ramp up. We're getting a lot of people that are going to ask questions in the comments, stuff like that. Please be patient with us and our team. Be respectful. This is a lot of information that's coming up right now here, guys. But if you are under this tornado warning right now for the Arkadelphia area, the Garden area, along Interstate 30, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately here. I understand it's a Saturday afternoon. Folks got stuff going on, but you've got to get into your safe spots immediately, guys. The storm's moved to the northeast. We've got a view on our Skycam in the Alexander area here. We're going to keep an eye on that, and Brian's going to keep me advised of what's going on with that here. So back to you, Derek.
All right. So once again, Cam, if we can, let's zoom in, kind of get a few straights on this as well. So once again, here's Garden, here's Okolona. All right. So folks, right here is if there is a tornado, it is going to be right through here, Foundation Road. If you live along Foundation Road, Rome Trail. If you live along Rome Trail, if you live along Thornton Road, right through here, this is where you need to be watching. And if you live in these areas, Mac Road, if you live anywhere in this area, you need to be in your shelter right now, folks. Again, I want to repeat, you need to be lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Blankets, pillows, mattresses. If you got to go to a bathroom, or a safe spot in your house, another thing is make sure you have helmets, because a bicycle helmet and stuff like that can prevent head injuries, and that's the first thing we see when it comes to severe weather injuries. Are your head, your neck, and your chest are your three most vulnerable areas when it comes to tornado damage. Those are the areas you do not want to have injured in the event your house does get hit. And again, a tornado warning, we only have one in the state right now, but this goes for our folks in Clark County. And this goes here until, what Cameron, about 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. this evening? 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. All right, so once again, this is moving off towards the northeast. It's going to track Garden, Arkadelphia. All right, on downstream, we're talking Donaldson, we're talking Toll, Benton. And if this stays on track, it could in between the metro, England, places like that as well. So anywhere from Sheridan to Leola to Malvern to Benton, Bryant, Hot Springs Village, and the metro, I want you to be watching this storm closely right now, because, folks, this is a situation as these storms stay ahead of the main line, they will have a chance to spin up and produce a tornado at any point in time. Again, conditions are quickly becoming favorable for tornadic development. One concern that I've had throughout the day is that, hey, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a slight risk, it's a low risk, it's been cloudy all day. Well, just because it's been cloudy all day does not necessarily mean you cannot get a tornado, especially when we're talking about the fall. Fall in severe weather is what we call low CAPE, high shear events, where you don't have a lot of storm fuel, but you have more than enough wind energy to compensate for that storm fuel. So once again, for my folks in Gum Springs, for my folks in Arkadelphia, in Friendship, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, our Alexander camera is watching this very, very closely as well, so we have a good eye on this storm as well. But again, if you live in Garden, if you live in Arkadelphia, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now, folks. Again, this is moving off towards the northeast here, about 30 miles an hour or so. So it's going to move from Garden into Friendship into Arkadelphia here. Again, this is currently the only warning, the only tornado warning we have at this time. But again, this is going to take precedence because life and property are being affected immediately. Yes, sir.
We are now watching a wall cloud. You're going to start seeing it on our Skycam coming up here in just a little bit, guys. But they are watching a wall cloud that is going to be along Interstate 30 near Okolona. It's at 54 right now here. So monitoring the situation very, very closely here. I'm getting very concerned, especially for my folks along Interstate 30 right now. It's a Saturday afternoon. Folks are either traveling or they're going home or they're doing something. You got to be paying attention to this storm, guys. You got to get to shelter immediately here. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. My folks downstream, Malvern, Gum Springs, Arkadelphia, Dawson, Friendship, even further downstream from there could be Toll, Benton. This could also, if things hold together and it's a favorable storm mode, could pose a risk for the metro. So we're going to watch this situation very closely. I say quick shout out our chief engineer Ryan for letting us use this tower for situations like this in particular. We're going to be watching this storm very closely as it approaches the Little Rock metro area here. But like I said before, right now, the tornado warning still continues here. The circulation has become a lot more diffused, but we're going to keep an eye on the situation here. Back to you, Derek.
All right. So once again, folks, I know everybody's worried about the metro as well. We went live for that storm originally. That storm has weakened a lot, even on our Alexander cam. You can tell it has become a lot more unorganized, especially at the base. Because right now, what you have is a fight within the atmosphere between your cold air and your warm air. So once again, so right now our main focus continues to be our tornado warning that is currently in effect for Clark County until 4 p.m. on this October the 18th, 2025. So once again, folks, if you live in Arkadelphia, you need to be taking those tornado precautions right now. Lowest level of your house and put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is going to move into downtown Arkadelphia, folks, or very close to it within the next 15 minutes. You need to be in that safe place right now. We've had a wall cloud already reported on this storm. Again, this is going to be tracking towards northeast, not fast, but relatively fast. Our hope is that the squall line moves in, overtakes this storm before it can produce a tornado. However, take your tornado precautions right now. Lowest level of your house and put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, Cameron, let's zoom in on this storm again, just to kind of give everybody a closer idea on where this is going to be going. So once again, right here is your area of rotation. Again, it's not as strong as it once was, but it is still here. Again, here's Gum Springs, here's Arkadelphia. So right here, folks, right through here is where our tornado warning is for. And if there were to be a tornado in this storm, it is going to be tracking right through here, folks. And once again, if you're along I-30 right now, I advise pulling off, letting this storm pass. If you know anybody traveling here, I know there's a lot of football games going on around the Arkadelphia area as well. For our school administrators, especially colleges, Henderson, and Ouachita as well, be advised that this storm is coming in and showing signs of very strong rotation around it as well. So again, and even further on downstream, as we head downstream towards the Malvern area, we're going to have to be watching very closely as this continues to push off towards the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Again, this is the strongest storm in the state at this time. It is the most severe storm, and it is a tornadic storm. So again, we're going to be continuing to watch this storm as it moves off towards the northeast. And our hope is that this line out here to the west catches up with it, and what you get is it crosses over this storm and basically sucks it back into the atmosphere, and you have no storm drop a tornado at all whatsoever. But again, for now, this storm is well ahead of this line, so therefore this is what we have to watch. Another thing we will have to watch as the storm merges with the line, you could get a brief spin up as well as the storm merges with the line. So once again, this storm, not on the ground yet, nobody has reported it on the ground, but let's keep it as is. Take your tornado safe place. Lowest level of your house, put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Okay? All right. So once again, just to reiterate again, let's hey Ryan, if you can, do we have a view on the storm moving through the metro again? Radar has picked up a little bit stronger of a rotation once again. There, it's still kind of broad as well. So I don't want to take away from our folks here in Arkadelphia, but let's just continue to watch that as well. Another good thing is that we are seeing that severe thunderstorm watch starting to be carved out of northwest Arkansas. Cameron?
Yeah, so I want to kind of break in real quickly here. We do have a brand new tornado watch that's just been issued for central and south central Arkansas. This is going to go for the following: Heber Springs, Searcy, Conway, Little Rock, England, Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia, Fordyce, Camden, and also Warren. So they have issued a tornado watch here. That tornado watch will be going until 8 o'clock this evening. Main concern will be for these discrete cells ahead of the line that will be capable of producing that tornado threat here. So that's something that we're going to have to continue to monitor here at the Arkansas Weather Watchers Weather Center here. But for the repeat, we do have a new tornado watch in effect for much of central Arkansas. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on here. Derek, also, I'm going to switch your radar coming up in a second. So that way you'll have a better street view, and you'll also be able to talk about some buildings and stuff like that as well. So back to you.
All right. So once again, folks, as we talked about again, so again, if you live in Gum Springs and Arkadelphia, folks, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is a storm that is starting to wrap up once again, and what this is going to do is it is going to track into or very near Arkadelphia. So once again, if you live in Gum Springs, if you live in Arkadelphia, you should have already been in that safe place right now. On downstream, Caddo Valley, Friendship, Midway, Malvern, Rockport, on up I-30. We're going to have to watch this storm closely. My folks in Sheridan, if this takes a right turn any point in time, then we can be talking about our folks in Sheridan. So once again, Cameron's pulling up our street level view here. Yep. Just to give y'all a very good idea on where this storm is, and right now you can see it clear as day, folks, right through here. And again, this is just to the Arkadelphia is up here, so this is just to the south of Arkadelphia, folks, moving northeast. So again, this is moving into those areas. And Cameron, if you would, name off a few streets in and around here. Okay.
So that's going to be
right there.
Old Arkansas 51, Militant Road, and also Central Road.
Old Arkansas 51, Milton Road, and what else?
That should be it. Right.
Okay. All righty. So, yep. So right here, folks, right here is where our tornado is, folks. If there were to be a tornado on this storm, right here is where it would be. As you can see, the strong rotation in and around this storm, and this is moving off towards the northeast here at 30 miles an hour. This is going to be moving in towards Arkadelphia. It's going to be moving in towards Caddo Valley here very, very shortly, folks. So again, if you live in Arkadelphia, you should be in your safe place right now. I know the sirens are going off. I know, hey, it's a Saturday afternoon. We need to be in those safe places right now. No errand, no trip is worth your life. You can wait a few minutes and allow extra time for this storm to pass by, because once this line and this front catches up, your severe threat will be over with. So once our line of storms passes through, again, our line of storms is just to the west of of this storm. If it crosses over it, your severe threat will go down significantly. But right now, we continue to watch for this possibility of a tornado with this storm. Still a very strong area of rotation here just to the north of Gurdon. Again, Gum Springs right here, Arkadelphia, Caddo Valley. So once again, right here is where we are watching for that possibility. And we're going to have to keep watching as this moves off towards the northeast. So once again, if you can hear my voice in Arkadelphia, hear my voice in Gum Springs, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. You need to be there right now. Again, nothing is confirmed. The only thing we have been confirmed of is a wall cloud at this time. That is a very good thing. No reports of funnels, no reports of damage. That's a very good thing. Power outage wise are still low. So again, we know for a fact we don't have much in the way of anything on the ground at this time. But again, this storm is also producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds as well. So not only do we have to worry about a tornado threat, but we also have to worry about those downbursts, those straight line winds as well, because as the line of storms continues to strengthen for much of the afternoon, we will be dealing with that possibility of damaging winds as well. So once again, folks, for my folks here in Gum Springs, folks, your rotation is increasing more and more and more. Cameron, let's zoom in a little bit closer on this as well, because I'm starting to get very concerned here. You're starting to get a very tight couplet right here just to the southwest of Gum Springs. So once again, where you see the greens and the reds meeting, this is where you have to watch for that possibility of a strengthening storm. And again, folks, this is moving up I-30. As our line of storms gets closer, it will kind of turn a little bit towards the northeast and kind of go a little bit on the south side of I-30. But right now, it's riding along I-30. If you are traveling along I-30 in the Arkadelphia area, get off the interstate right now. Seek shelter somewhere, not under a bridge, but seek shelter somewhere, even if it isn't a Walmart, even if it is a restaurant, just for a few moments in time. But once again, my folks here in Gum Springs, you need to be in your safe place now. Arkadelphia is right up the road here. And again, folks, my folks in Caddo Valley, just a little bit up there. So again, we have right here is where our strongest area of rotation is. This is moving off towards Arkadelphia. This is moving off towards Caddo Valley. And then, of course, obviously on towards the Malvern area as well over the next hour or so. Again, this is only moving at 30 miles an hour, so it's not moving fast. But the slow-moving supercells are what we tend to watch for with tornadic development, because they're not like the spring where they move at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. But what happens is, the slower they move, the better a chance they have to latch into our atmosphere, into the wind shear, and latch onto any boundaries that are left over. Again, we don't have many boundaries left over, but what we have is what is called a differential heating boundary, which is what these storms are riding on to the northeast as our cold front approaches. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't have any new information right now. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on a couple of things here. I'm going to switch over. I'm looking at some other things right now. I'm getting a little concerned about that rotation near the Midway area. That is just south of Arkadelphia here. I got the track up. So Gum Springs, the Dawson area, Gum Springs at 3:37. You have about 7 minutes. So let's cut that in half, because it's going to take time for you to, and depending on if you're traveling or you're trying to get to your safe spot, let's say about 3:34, 3:35. Okay, so you got to get to that safe spot immediately. Dawson, you have right around 4 o'clock. Let's go about 3:55. I'm gonna take a little bit of time off for you to get to where you need to go. We are gonna continue to keep an eye on this storm. Like I said before, right now no news is good news. I'm gonna stress that. But right now, to just kind of monitoring this tornado warning right now. Anybody that's on Interstate 30 needs to be seeking shelter immediately at this current time. We're also going to get new information on the page about that tornado watch coming up here in a little bit here. But other than that, right now, Derek, we don't have much going on here. So I'm going to turn it back to you.
All right. So once again, our storm continues to be here just to the southwest of Arkadelphia. Right here is Arkadelphia, folks. Right down here is Gurdon. It's currently moving northeast out of the Gurdon area Gardens, just stay in shelter for a few more minutes, go on and let the entire line pass you first. Then we can worry about, getting out of shelter and whatnot. But again, for my folks here in Arkadelphia, my folks on up the road towards Cato Valley and Malvern, we need to be watching the storm very, very closely because a tornado can form at any point in time. Our Alexander camera is just a little bit outside of the vision right now, but as the storm gets closer to Malvern, we will have a very close eye on the storm, kind of how we had on the first storm that moved through as we went live here about 30 minutes ago. So once again, this is why we are saying how important the Sky Camera project is as well, because what it does, it saves lives and it helps the National Weather Service issue these warnings like you got already today. Okay.
Just switching over to me real fast here, guys. So first of all, there's the brand new tornado watch that's into place. Just kind of relating to you guys some new information about this tornado warning here. So tornado warning is going to continue. The circulation is starting to weaken, but the storm is in a favorable area for tornadic development. So that's something that we're going to have to continue to kind of keep an eye on over the next couple of minutes here. So just like I said, right now, watching this storm real closely here near the Arkadelphia area. This is going to continue to push out towards north and east. I will say that if we can get this line of storms here, and I'll zoom this out, you see this line of storms pretty much stretching from Russellville all the way down to Magnolia. If we can get that line of storms to catch up with this supercell, that will start to kind of decrease the tornado threat. However, what's going to happen is any cells ahead of the line, you will have to watch for that tornado threat here. So we're going to keep an eye on it here right now. No news is good news. I haven't heard any reports about it being on the ground or doing damage or anything significant like that here. But just kind of relaying some news here about that tornado watch that is in effect till 8 o'clock. We're going to get down the page here in a little bit. We're also keeping an eye on this as well. So one more thing as well for those that are in Western Arkansas, because we've got a lot of people that are watching this right now, trying to figure out who's in the clear and who's not. My folks in Western Arkansas, it is starting to decrease. The severe threat is pretty much over. So what's going to happen is the watches from DeQueen, Mena, Waldron up towards, looks like they've already trimmed the ones in Northwest Arkansas. But the ones in Western Arkansas behind this line, your severe threat is done for the afternoon here, guys. Here, so I will say, Derek, our timing is about spot on. We had these storms coming in right around 4 o'clock in the Central Arkansas area here, and we're about 30 minutes out. So we're not terribly shy of, and right now it looks like it's going to be moving off towards the northeast pretty quickly here. But I will say, further to the east and northeast in this favorable motion, we will have to watch eastern and northeastern Arkansas once again for that tornado threat. So we'll keep an eye on that here. But I'm going to turn it back to you, Derek. Go ahead.
All right. So once again, folks, for our folks in Arkadelphia, we need to be in the safe place now. Like Cameron mentioned, our storm is not quite as intense as it was a few minutes ago, and the main reason is we're getting interaction now with this line of storms that goes all the way from Mountain Home, all the way down through Hot Springs, all the way down through just west of Arkadelphia, on down here towards the Magnolia area as well. So again, as this line of storms continues to strengthen, what we're going to watch for is, one, any prefrontal cells that develop out here in this general area out here on the eastern part of the state. But what we're also going to watch for is any embedded circulations within this line of storm as it continues to push off towards the east over the next several hours. Again, we are far from over for this event. Through about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock this evening is when our folks in Central East Arkansas, so basically from now through about midnight, is when we need to be watching for that possibility of severe weather for our folks in the central and the eastern half of the state. Again, like Cameron said, for our Western Arkansas folks, our folks out here in West Arkansas, we are pretty much done with this event. However, for my folks in East Arkansas, we still have a ways to go this evening. But once again, for my folks in Arkadelphia, this is where our tornado warning is right here. Again, upstream we have Sheridan, we have Malvern, we have Benton, Bryant, Haskell. Places like that, we need to be watching this storm closely. Again, as anybody from Arkansas knows, the I-30 corridor is always that peak for severe weather in the natural state. And then, of course, going on upstream towards places like College Station, England, Searcy, Beebe, places like that. Again, You know, our hope is that this line of storms moves through, gets out of here, and we don't have to worry about it. We hope this is the only warning we have all night long. But knowing Arkansas, its fall severe season has kicked off with a bang. So once again, whenever you're going from the 80s and 90s down to the 40s and 50s, you generally have to deal with severe weather. And unfortunately, we are dealing with that this evening. So once again, folks, we have a tornado warning in effect here for about another 20 minutes for our folks in Clark County. Now moving out of the Gurdon area, moving up towards Arkadelphia, but on upstream, my folks towards Caddo Valley, my folks up towards Benton and Bryant, you need to be taking your tornado precautions just in case. Malvern, you would be next in this storm. You would be next, and it may track a little bit east of Malvern, but that being said, we still need to watch this. One thing I'm noticing on this storm is it's starting to be pulled to the west a little bit as the line approaches it. So our hope is that over the next few minutes, we see the line overtake this storm, and then your tornado threat goes down with this storm.
Yeah, Derek, so I was pretty much just adding on, what he had just said. So what happened was you had kind of what we talked about earlier with the HRR. I don't like using data 100%, but this was pretty good. What happened was you had that discrete cell develop in southwest Arkansas. It started rotating, had a wall cloud, went toward Warren. And then what's going on now is that line of storms here, which I can zoom out, by the way, and show you guys where this line of storms is. It's pretty much stretching from Russellville all the way down. This line of storms is now catching up with said supercell. So now what's going on here is it's catching up to it, and it's going to kill the tornado threat here. So what's probably going to end up happening is once that storm fully merges within the line, the tornado threat will start to decrease with that, and the tornado warning will probably be dropped. But we're going to keep our guard up. For those that are in that tornado warning, I want you to get into your safe spots immediately. When we talk about that, by the way, that's the lowest, most interior part of your home or business or wherever residential area that you're in. If you are in a mobile home, like we mentioned before, you need to kind of find a gas station, grocery store, stuff like that. But at least for right now, we're just kind of keeping an eye on it. I have not heard any damage reports. Nothing's been touched down. No news is good news here, but we are watching it back here behind the scenes while you're keeping everybody updated up there. So back to you.
All right, so once again, like Cameron mentioned, this is our line of storms, and one thing about it is we've not had any warnings or many warnings along this line of storms. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, down here for our folks in Hempstead County and Nevada County, Lafayette County. Then, of course, obviously we have our tornado warning up here in Clark County, and then, of course, our severe thunderstorm warning for Clark, Dallas, Hot Spring, and Pike County as well. So all this activity is moving towards the east, moving towards the northeast. So once again, this is going to be coming into our Alexander camera view very, very soon once again. And so once again, we're going to get a very good eye on a lot of these storms. But right now, I still want to keep our focus on the Arkadelphia area because this is where we have a tornado warning still in effect. Again, like Cameron said, we don't have any reports of damage, no reports of touchdowns. There's going to be plenty of law enforcement on this storm around it, to give us a good idea. Again, it's about 30 or so miles from being in view of our camera as well down in Alexander. So once again, we're going to be able to watch this entire line of storms as it moves into eventually, Hot Spring County, Saline County, Grant County, and the southern parts of Pulaski County here over the next couple of hours as well. But again, so far, the only tornado warning we have is for my folks down here in Arkadelphia. Cameron?
So got some brand new information here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning now that's going to go for Hot Springs, Dallas, Grant, and Clark. I believe it's the current one right now. So what they're doing is they were drawing up a new severe thunderstorm warning downstream of the current tornado warning. So that one is now severe thunderstorm warning, but it's still TORPOS because they're still monitoring it because there is potential for tornado depending on what happens with the interaction with the supercell and the line of storms coming out from the west. So we do have now, like I said before, severe thunderstorm warning, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a tornado possible with that storm here as it continues to move out towards north and east here. Friendly reminder, by the way, while we're doing this, if you are a business owner, or you're a city official or anything like that, this is the reason why we're pushing our Skycam project right here. If this is something that you would be interested in and serving your community, please reach out to us here, guys, because this is why we are pushing this Skycam project for situations like this. The National Weather Service, they were watching this storm very closely here, but we have a camera in the Alexander area that they were able to access and see that wall cloud, get the warning out, and everything like that. So just kind of wanted to throw that friendly reminder out. The tornado warning is about to be canceled, by the way. The rotation has broadened out considerably, but they are going to keep the severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible. So we're going to stay on live until that severe thunderstorm warning has been dropped here. So back to you.
Okay. All right. So once again, like Cameron mentioned, let's go back to our Alexander camera view really quickly, just to kind of give everybody a view of this storm on air once again. So again, yes, this is still a little bit far away from us, but as you can see, again, this is where we had our wall cloud earlier from the first storm. So again, we are looking out towards Malvern, towards Benton. Again, back here is Bryant. So again, we're looking off towards the southwest right now, and this is where this is where we're going to be watching over the next 20 to 30 minutes or so, to see exactly what if anything comes out of this area. But once again, this is, we saw one storm push off towards the northeast. Now we're watching this area right here. Nothing to be concerned about yet. Obviously, it is still a little bit far away from our camera, but we're going to be watching this as it continues to move into the area over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. Let's go back to our radar view again, just to give everybody a general idea of what's going on. Yeah. Let's go into, just go in blown up. So that way, just to give everybody kind of idea, now that, we have gone through just a severe thunderstorm warning once again. So once again, we can kind of zoom out a little bit and get a broader perspective. The highest severe threat for my folks in North Arkansas, I don't think you are going to get much in the way of severe weather at all this evening, because what's happening is you have what is called a rain shield that is basically developed along and north of a warm front. But you have a strengthening line basically from Magnolia all the way up through Garden, all the way up to just west of Malvern, all the way up to just west of the metro here, and then up towards the Russellville area. This is going to be pushing off towards the east-northeast. Now, once again, my folks over here in our tornado-ravaged areas like Jonesboro, like Bay, like Cave City, like Wynne, like Helena, Stuttgart, places like this. Again, so right now, again, it's going to determine how far north this differential boundary gets as to how strong our tornado threat is. Right now, it's about right here. So the question is it able to push further north, or is it going to be surged back south as rain-cooled air from the northern part of this storm system begins to push out ahead of it? Again, we have plenty of storm fuel ahead of this storm, but one thing I want you to notice is out here in eastern Arkansas. East and southeast Arkansas has had what's called mixing aloft. So what's going on is that we have a lot of mixing down here in southeast Arkansas, which has helped our storm fuel to actually level out a little bit. And so that's a very good thing when you talk about this line of storms as it continues to push east. Now, obviously, we still have a couple hours of sunlight to go, so that can change at any point in time. But for now, this is a good thing. However, across much of central, northeast Arkansas, down into southwest Arkansas, we are still dealing with that possibility. So once again, folks, we do have the only warning in the state right now is for our folks in the Malvern area. Over to camera.
So right now, Brent gave you guys some new information here. So new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to go for Yale, Saline, Perry, Pope, POPE, Conway, and also Pulaski County here. So that's going to be with that cell that just developed just south of Russellville. It's going to be right up there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. That will more than likely, Derek, will be a damaging wind threat. But what I'm going to do here for just a bit here is I'm going to, if you give me just a second, I got to get my tool right. There we go. All right. Keep an eye on this. Do you see what I'm? Yep, right in here. Do you see that? You want to? Yep. So I'm going to turn it back over to you if you want to explain why we're going to keep an eye on that.
All right, so Cameron, let's go to our velocity view on this storm as well. So this is what we call a bookend vortice. What that means is when you get a line of storms, they wrap back into themselves, and so what can happen is you can get a tornado, to briefly form out of what we call a bookend vortice. So for my folks up here, on Crow Mountain. My folks right in between Russellville, Atkins. This is our rotation strength with this storm moving off towards the northeast. So my folks here in Atkins, you're not under a tornado warning yet, but it's something we're going to have to watch along the northern edge of this line as it continues to push off towards the east and northeast. Now, once again, for squall lines, we watch those bookend vortices sometimes on the northern end of the storm versus supercells, we're watching the southern end of the storm. So again, a little bit of meteorology being thrown out as well this evening. But again, my folks north of Atkins on up towards places like Heddyville, Jerusalem, Center Ridge as well. We need to be watching this line as it continues to push off towards the northeast here at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Again, a broad-brushed severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds all the way down into Saline and Pulaski, Yale counties, Pope, P-O-P-E, Perry counties, and Conway County as well. But again, it's these little kinks in this line, one just to the west of Perryville now. Again, another one down here just north of Hot Springs Village. So once again, it's these little kinks on this line that we're going to have to watch over the next hour or so as this entire line pushes in. Ryan, if you can, let's turn our Alexander camera a little bit to the west now, and then we're going to go back to Cameron.
All right, guys, so what I'm going to do here, give me just a little bit here. So I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the power outages that we're starting to get across the area here. So we now have a total of 7,800 customers without power. Most of them right now is going to be in Carroll County, which is coming in at 3,200. We also have Pike County coming in at 988 at this current time here. So biggest thing I want to stress is it's not just a tornado that you have to worry about. It's the damaging wind potential with this as well. So we are getting power outages with this line of storms as they push off towards the east here. Main threat, like I said before, not only with just that tornado threat, it will be for the potential of seeing some isolated power outages as well as that tornado threat as well here. So I kind of want to report that. Like I said before, we're going to keep an eye on a lot of things here, guys. Our system here, we have a radar, and also we have people that are wondering about the watches and warnings and stuff like that. We're going to have that on the screen as well here. So for my folks in Western Arkansas, if you're watching this from, I'd say, Jasper, Harrison, Fayetteville, all the way down towards the Queen and the Texarkana area, you're pretty much done for this severe weather threat here. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on getting that information out for you guys once this tornadic activity has kind of calmed down a little bit. But for right now, we're going to keep an eye on central Arkansas, and then our attention will turn towards eastern Arkansas later on into the evening and into the overnight hours here. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Derek.
All right, folks. So once again, just kind of going over everything as Cameron said, back to what we are watching. The strongest storm continues to be this supercell right here that is now merging. Remember what I said just a few minutes ago. As it merges with the line, two things can happen. It can either weaken or it can get a little bit stronger and rotate. And we're kind of starting to see that once again here just to the east of Donaldson and northeast of Arkadelphia. So once again, if you look, this is going to put Leola, Sheridan, Poyen in the path of this storm. So again, we do not have a tornado warning yet, but I'm starting to get concerned we could get another one form out of this here very, very soon. And as it does, it is going to move up towards the area of Malvern, Tull, Sheridan, up towards Benton, Bryan, and then eventually, obviously, into the Little Rock Metro. Back to Cameron.
All right, sorry, I'm not meaning to interrupt you. We got a brand new tornado warning, and it's going to go for Hot Springs, Garland, and Clark County. So it's going to be for this cell right here. So so we got a brand new tornado warning in place here. We also have a report of a wall cloud that was reported earlier on. So we're going to keep an eye on it here. We're watching this sky very closely here, guys. But we have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued across the area here. So Derek, I'm going to turn it right back over to you.
Cameron, let's go to our rotation strength on this storm, please. Let's go to it, sir. So this is to the west of Friendship. This is to the northwest of Caddo Valley. It's to the south of Hot Springs. But I want to let's get a good view. Yeah, man. I tell you what, this storm it is gonna be this area right here. But we also have to watch another area right here as well. So my folks in Magnet Cove, just to the south of Lake Hamilton. If you live in Malvern, you need to be in your safe place right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, here's Bismarck. Here's Lake Hamilton. Hot Springs is up here. We're not worried about you. This is going to stay off towards your southeast. But if you live just north of Caddo Valley, this is passing miles, folks. I mean, miles to your north. Miles. So again, if you live in Malvern, you need to be in your safe place right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Yes, sir. Right in the middle. Are we too loud now?
No, you're super close.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So once again, folks, for our folks in Malvern, you need to be in your safe place right now. Let's go to our velocity. Once again, I want to show everybody this as well. A really concern of mine is that we're getting a folding of the radar right now. I just saw it as well. So we also have a radar up here on the stand as well. But again, so what we're watching is this area right here over to Cameron. Okay. All right.
I put CC on.
Yep, I see it. All right. So folks, right now, folks, this is a debris signature on Owasso Trail, folks. This is all right. So this is Owasso Trail. Ryan, watch our Alexander Cameron closely, because here in about 20 minutes we should be able to get a viewpoint on this storm. So once again, folks, if you live in Malvern, Malvern is right here. We have a tornado debris signature, folks, right here on this storm. So folks, I want to reiterate this right now. I'm calling this a tornado on the ground via a debris signature, folks. This is going to be moving towards Malvern. This is going to move towards Rockport in 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes or less. Let's get a track on this storm. Right now, we have folks, this is moving from a rural area into a highly populated area. Because as you get to northern Hot Spring County, Saline County, Pulaski counties, we get into parts of the most populated areas of the state. So my concern is now, this is moving up I-30 on the western side. So my folks in Jones Mills, my folks in Rockport at 425, Magnet Cove 426, Lonsdale at 436. So again, you have 30 minutes to take your shelter right now. Malvern, this is going to pass dangerously close to Malvern, and this may go through the western part of Malvern as well. Again, we have a weather camera coming there here very, very soon. We are working on that as well. So Alexander will be our closest camera for this right now. But once again, for my folks in Bismarck, you need to be in your safe place right now. My folks on the western side of Malvern, western side of Hot Springs, or west side of Hot Spring County, you need to be in that safe place right now. And this is going to move dangerously close to the Malvern area. Let's go back to our rotation strength. Once again, I want to see exactly. So yeah, there it is, folks, right in there. So let's get that scan back in again, folks, right there. So if there is a definite there's a debris signature on this, and here's our rotation strength right here. Here's Bismarck, here's Donaldson, Bismarck, Donaldson, Malvern, folks. This is moving to the northeast here at about 30 miles an hour. So once again, if you live in Malvern, you need to be in your safe place right now. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. If you have kids, put blankets, pillows, mattresses, whatever you can get. Bicycle helmets, baseball helmets, football helmets, whatever you have to cover your head, because your head is going to be the first area of protection when it comes to a tornado, or debris coming through a wall. Yes, Cameron. Okay.
Yeah. So. Okay, sorry. So, latest radar data indicates a possible CC dropout with a tornado warning storm near Bismarck. So that's what we saw earlier. That CC drop with that storm here. So we're gonna keep an eye on that, folks. Here, but this is just a call to action to everybody that's watching the stream right now. We get folks that ask us all the time, how can they help make the page grow? How can they help keep people safe? Hit that share button. Get this information out. It's free. It's not gonna cost you a penny. You getting this information now can help save somebody's life. And this is a situation now that if it's confirmed that a CC dropout, that means that we have a tornado on the ground. So we need, yep, there it is. Hey, brand new information. Tornado observed now. Tornado warning remains in effect until 4:30 for north central Clark, southeastern Garland, and central Hot Springs County here. Now to confirm, breaking news, we have a tornado on the ground now that is going to go for north central Clark, southeastern Garland, and central Hot Springs County. Derek, right back to you.
All right. So once again, folks, let's go to our debris senator Cameron as well, and get a close look at this storm. That's going to zoom in as well on this storm as well. So again, I want to reiterate this. If you live in West Arkansas, you are clear, good to go. Razorback game is going to be good to go at 4:30. Y'all are good in Fayetteville there. However, my folks right now in Clark County, Hot Spring County, moving into Saline County soon. This is a tornado on the ground. I want you to reiterate this. This is a tornado observed, folks. This is a tornado observed just to the north. Here's Donaldson. Here's Malvern. Here's Harmony Grove. Here's Lake Hamilton, folks. If you need to be, or Magnet Cove, excuse me, not Harmony Grove, goodness gracious. But, again, if you live just to the west, here's Malvern. Here's Bismarck. This is Highway 84. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground. This is moving northeast, folks. This is going to move towards Malvern, towards Magnet Cove, on down the road, Lonsdale, Traskwood, Haskell. You would be next in line for this storm. So once again, if you live in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precaution. Now, I want to reiterate this. A tornado has been spotted on the ground. Do not go out to see it. Get in your shelter right now. This is now a matter of life or death. So once again, my folks in Hot Spring County, especially western parts of Hot Spring County, you need to be in your safe place right now. Over to you, Cam.
Yeah, so Ryan just made a very good point here. He's looking at the camera right now. If this thing is on the ground, true and confirmed, it is rain wrapped. You're not going to be able to see it until it's too late here. So, folks, if you are on Highway 84 right now, Lake Hamilton, Magnet Cove, just to the west and southwest of Malvern, you need to get into your safe spot now. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground here. I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys the latest information with this here. So, a confirmed tornado was located near the Great Lakes State Park, or 12 miles north of Arkadelphia, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. This is going to be a radar confirmed tornado here. So, we don't. Right now, as it stands, until either somebody on the ground or our Skycam and Alexander picks this tornado up on air, it is radar confirmed right now here. But that doesn't mean anything, folks. Don't worry about those small details. This thing is on the ground via radar, and you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Yeah, it's observed. Yeah, so that's the reason why it's saying observed, because it's radar confirmed. They're confirming it via the radar because of the CC dropout. But we don't have anybody right now, like a physical human being or one of our Skycams yet, that has confirmed this. But like Ryan mentioned before, if this thing is on the ground, truly, you're not going to be able to see it until it is right on top of you. So you got to get into your safe spots immediately here. Okay, we'll go to your Skyview. We'll go to the camera Sky. Back to you, Derek. Going back to Skyview.
So let's go to our debris indicator once again, Cameron. I do want to take another look at this again. So right through here, folks, so here's Bismarck, here is Malvern. So, one thing I like to see is it's not as pronounced as it once was just a couple of scans ago. So this is a good thing. However, well, never mind. All right, so once we switch to that view, it looks a little bit different here. So once again, so right here, folks, right here, here's Bismarck. Bismarck, you are just east. Here's Donaldson. You are just east. Bismarck, you're just I mean, it's right in between Donaldson and Bismarck. Malvern, you're right here. You know, I mean, Magnet Cove, Malvern, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. My folks in Lake Hamilton, my folks in Hot Springs, this is going to pass just south of you, folks, and I mean just south of you. My folks in Lonsdale, you know, my folks on downstream, Benton, Bryant, Haskell, Tall. We need to be watching this storm closely because it could turn east at any point in time, and if it does, it will make a beeline for my folks in Haskell, for my folks in Poyen, my folks in Traskwood. So once again, if you live anywhere along the I-30 corridor between Benton and Malvern, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is a very dangerous, life-threatening situation. You have a tornado on the ground. Confirmed, folks. This right here is a debris indicator, and it is confirmed on the ground right now, folks. Again, tornado observed moving northeast. This is going to move into or very near the town of Malvern in a matter of minutes. So once again, for my folks in Malvern, at 421, my folks in Traskwood, 436, my folks in Bauxite, and Benton on towards 450, which is about 50 minutes from now. Cameron, over to you.
Okay, I'm getting multiple reports right now of a tornado that has been confirmed on the ground on Highway 128 in Hickory Grove, near the new DeRoche area here. So that just confirms what we're dealing with right now here. That is an obvious sign of debris. That is just south of Highway 84. I am getting concerned now that what happened was, instead of this storm merging with a line of storms, I think it is using that said line as fuel to produce this tornado here. So I don't think the merger actually happened. I think this is still a true, definite supercell, and we'll have to keep an eye on that here. Wait, what'd you say?
So what's happened is the supercell has
Fulkerson, yeah, correct. So now you have a tornado that has been confirmed at this point here. So we're getting multiple reports of a tornado that was on the ground, Highway 128 here. So folks, if you are in Malvern, if you are just south and east of Hot Springs, if you are traveling with Interstate 30 right now, I need you to get into your safe spots immediately. Do not attempt to try to see this tornado for yourself. As you can see on our Skycam, you are not going to see it until it is on top of you. Let me make this clear. Do not attempt to try to see this tornado for yourself. Your safety and everybody else's safety around you comes first. That is the first and only priority you need to make. Leave that to our Skycams. Leave that to the professionals to try to get this confirmed here. So right now, as I said before, we're working on this tornado warning. We're going to go back to Derek here. Go ahead.
All right, so once again, folks, let's zoom in on this, Cameron, once again here, just to give everybody a really good idea on where this is, folks. Right here is Donaldson, right here is Malvern, right here is Magnet Cove. Folks, it is going to be right here, folks. Just right here is highway, what highway is that, Cameron? That's 84 right here. So 84 here. Again, here's Donaldson. This is just the north of Donaldson. Here's Bismarck, east of Bismarck. Folks in Malvern, folks in Magnet Cove, Malvern and Magnet Cove, you need to be in a safe place right now. Again, folks, this is all we need to see to indicate a tornado on the ground. Again, this is getting extremely close to our Little Rock radar, so the velocity scan, they're going to kind of waffle a little bit here and there. But when you see a scan like this on the radar, that is when we start to get very concerned about the possibility of the debris. Again, as you can see, it is coming in here in the yellow and greens, so that is a high indication of at least a small tornado on the ground at this time. Another thing, let's go to our reflectivity view. Let's show you why you're not going to be able to see it, folks. Look at all this rain and hail, all this, folks. This storm is back here. We're not talking about something on the leading edge. We're talking back here in the rain, folks. This is 1 to 2 inch an hour rainfall rates, folks. You are not going to be able to get out and see this. We don't recommend it. It is for those professional chasers, the professional spotters. Yes. And our Skycam as well. Let's go to our Skycam as well. Yep, let's go to our Skycam as well. Just to give everybody an idea on why you're not going to be able to see this coming, folks. I mean, this is, look, folks, right here, man, this is a classic night. Your rotation is going to be back in here. I mean, you're talking, it's still a little bit away. Can we zoom in any more to see? Just to get an idea here, but again, you can see you have a very strong inflow tail right here, folks. Inflow tail coming in. So again, you have your inflow tail here. Your base is right through here, coming right down through here. So once again, we're looking southwest towards Malvern right now. Again, this storm is just out of our range on the Skycam because this only gets to about 25 or so miles out. But as you can see, right down through here is where your area of rotation is going to be. So once again, as we continue to watch this storm get closer to this camera, we're going to be able to pick out more of the structure, the visibility of it, and get a good idea on just how strong this possible tornado could be. So once again, our debris signature shows us a lot, but as you can see, a lot of rain. We've had farmers burning. You have a lot of haze in the air. You have a lot of smoke in the air. All that smoke in the air is being brought down to the surface by all these storms. So again, you're not going to be able to see it, but we're going to be able to spot this as it gets closer to us. Our hope is that it dies off before it gets to places like Benton and Bryant and in Alexander. But again, if it doesn't, we will have eyes on this storm as it does. Cameron?
Yeah, I just want to kind of, I know we're working this tornado warning right now. I want to kind of give a quick shout out to Therapeutic Family Services for this particular camera. It is coming in great use right now here. National Weather Service Little Rock is watching this very closely. And also Chubb's Small Engines and Swap Shop as well for this camera as well, because they're watching this very, very closely here. But the thing is, like you mentioned before, is this thing is rain wrapped. So until this gets on top of the camera physically, or it's becoming within a mile range, you're not going to be able to see this coming, guys. So if you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, you're not going to be able to see it in person here. But I did notice one thing, Derek, is your lightning rates are now starting to increase with the storm as well here. So this thing is definitely still producing a tornado here. We're going to continue to keep an eye on here. We're going to switch it right back over to you.
All right, Cameron, let's go back to our debris signature view. Because again, our velocity scans are getting kind of, our hope is that our debris signature is actually lessening a little bit. Looks a little bit weaker than what it did a couple of minutes ago. But once again, folks, right through here is where our potential tornado is. Again, it was observed a few minutes ago. Right now, it's not. It's not showing up near as much as it was. Let's go to our debris signature. Just to get an idea here of what we're looking at again, folks. So right here is where it would be. It's not strong, and the latest scan, Cameron, is a very good thing to see. Is that we don't have near the strength that we had a few minutes ago. Now, this could be two things. One, your line of storm just finally overtaken the cell, or B, you have a recycling cell. A lot of times these storms do produce a recycler and go through a recycling phase. Whereas they move northeast, they go through a recycling, and then they tend to put that storm on the southern edge. Cameron, over to you.
Yeah, I was just going to say they canceled, the tornado warning's been dropped because it looks like the rotation is starting to die off pretty significantly. And like I said, with the latest scan, the CC looks like it has died down pretty good. Now, that doesn't mean that this storm can't come back. It can recycle. It can easily do this once again here, but it looks like it did finally merge with the line of storms. But this entire line is going to have to be watched. And also, I do have a brand new damage report, by the way. Multiple reports of a tornado on the ground near Highway 128 in Hickory Grove. That was via the 911 call center. So we do have reports of a tornado. So this thing did produce a tornado, and I'm working on to see if we got any damage or anything right there. Right now, fortunately, I have not heard any reports of anybody getting hurt or, any fatalities or anything like that. That's a great thing. But right now, we do have a lot of reports of a tornado that was on the ground on Highway 128 here. So, like I said, for just a report, the tornado warning has been dropped. However, the severe thunderstorm warning still remains in effect until 4:45. That's going to go for Van Buren, Claiborne, and Conway County. That's going to be the storm in north central Arkansas. And then obviously, I would fully anticipate a downstream severe thunderstorm warning that's probably going to include the metro, Benton, Bryant, the Haskell area, etc., which is going to go for where our Skycam is at this current time. Back to you.
All right, so Cameron, let's go back to our reflectivity view now that we have a break in action in terms of our tornadic activity. Again, we have had several warnings, obviously, and here's the thing: you have reports of of damage now. So again, these are now damaging storms. As we expected when they came into the central Arkansas, the central third of the state, this is when we started to get a little bit worried about that possibility. Unfortunately, it has come to fruition this evening. But as you can see, our line of storm is still relatively broken apart. So again, with it being broken up like it is, our hope is that this stays into a relatively broken line of storms. So therefore, again, the line of storm stays on the weaker side of things, and we don't have to necessarily worry about the overall expectation of the extended part of a tornado event here. Again, as long as this does remain aligned, we don't have to worry about your tornado threat lessens significantly compared to what it would be, let's say, if these were all individual cells in the area. But once again, Cameron, let's zoom this out. Just to give everybody a view. Once again, yes. Yep, a statewide view. Now that we have a tornado warning break, if you will, as you can see, we have a line of storms that is moving out here into northeast Arkansas. I would say, Cameron, north of Heber Springs, we're going to be dealing with mostly a rain event because what is happening is your cluster of rain-cooled air is moving eastward, so that is helping to stabilize our atmosphere in northeast Arkansas. However, from Conway, Little Rock, Sheridan, Camden, El Dorado south, so anywhere along Highway 167 points east, we're going to have to continue to watch for that severe weather because this is where most of your instability, most of your temperatures, most of your heat has been throughout much of the afternoon hours. Again, no tornado warnings at this time, but we do have several severe warnings in effect. Garland, Hot Springs, Saline, Washita, Dallas, Van Buren, Conway, Cleburne, on down here, to, Perry County, Pulaski County, Yale County. This entire line is now severe warned. So again, even if your tornado threat's lessening a little bit, you still have to worry about those damaging winds. Yes, absolutely. All right, so again, as Cameron mentioned, we do have several watches and warnings in effect at this time. We are still, again, going through it again. A tornado watch is in effect for much of southwest Arkansas into central Arkansas here till 9 p.m. this evening. Again, my folks in DeQueen and Texarkana, you are about done. Fully expect to see the western edge of this kind of, be chipped away here. Also, I know the northwestern edge of this watch here has been chipped away as well. But for my folks in Russellville, Clinton, and Mountain Home, we are still under that severe thunderstorm watch until 6 p.m. Again, we will likely see a downstream watch just because of that possibility of severe weather. But for the most part, we've not had any reports up here in northern Arkansas. So this may remain a severe thunderstorm watch. However, down here in the eastern part of the state, we may have to watch for that possibility of a tornado watch downstream, depending how things look as we go later into the evening hours. From now till about 9 p.m. is what we call the golden hour when it comes to severe weather. That is where your jet stream is strongest. That is when your instability is strongest. The good thing about it is to October, so therefore you lose the heating of the day sooner. So therefore we should start seeing that cat move in as we get to the 10 and 11 o'clock hour. But again, all it takes is one to have a bad day, and so far we've had one that has caused a bad day for our neighbors down in Hot Spring and Clark County this evening. So, but once again, our tornado watch is in effect until 9 p.m. and then of course our severe thunderstorm watch in effect till 6 p.m. this evening. Cameron, can we go and look at our temperatures around the state as well at this time? Do you have that up? If not, don't worry about it. Just kind of, okay, that's fine. Yeah, just kind of getting an idea on what our temperatures look like around the state at this time. Biggest thing is that we don't see anything significant when it comes to tornadic activity right now. So that is a very good thing and something that we hope is a trend as we head into the evening hours, that maybe our tornado threat is starting to lessen, because there was a very small window of opportunity ahead of this line. So again, that being said, we still have to watch every single storm move through over the next couple of hours. Cameron? Yeah, let's go back to our radar view. Once again, just to give everybody an idea again of what's going on around the state. Again, like I said, if you live in western Arkansas, you are completely in the clear. So anywhere out here, it's going to rain. Now, I'm just going to be honest. It is going to rain. It's going to be heavy. But as you go into central Arkansas and southern Arkansas, this is where our strongest storms are. As a matter of fact, our El Dorado camera may also be starting to pick up a few of these storms down here as they move in over the next couple of hours or so. Cameron? Let's go look at the El Dorado camera as well while we're at it, just to get an idea here, just to kind of see what's going on, because again, that storm in Camden is exhibiting small signs of rotation, but it may be just a little bit too far north, for in line of our El Dorado camera. But once again, so yeah, looking off towards the west right now, you can definitely see that line of storms coming in on it, but it's not quite as pronounced down here as we are further towards the north. So we have a lot of rain wrapped here. Down here in southern Arkansas, these cells coming out of Louisiana, we are definitely going to have to watch for our folks in Hamburg and Snyder, Crossett, Monticello, and Lake Village as we go deeper into the evening hours, because any one of these cells ahead of this line as they move into southeast Arkansas could pose a risk for tornadic activity as we head into the evening and the overnight hours. Cameron?
Okay, so other than that, right now, Derek, I think that's pretty much pretty good. I am working on getting that temperature map for you real quick. So let me cook back here, and I'll get that temperature map for you here in just a little bit. But right now, just I have not heard anything about any zero reports of damage so far from that tornado down there in southwest Arkansas here. I do want to say that this line of storms continues to race to the east pretty quickly. These storms are known to produce 50-mile-per-hour winds and a tremendous amount of lightning. A few tornadoes still cannot be ruled out with this line of storms. So a call to action to my folks in eastern Arkansas. If you're watching this in Searcy, Brinkley, West Memphis, Jonesboro, Pine Bluff, Monticello, El Dorado, keep an eye on this. I would put a little bit more caution on I would say anywhere south of I-40. I would keep an eye on it, especially that strongest line of storms. I am starting to notice that particular cell is not starting to take a little bit more of what we call a bookend vortice, Derek. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and that may go for our folks in the metro along Interstate 40 as well here. So for right now, severe thunderstorm warning, just kind of reporting. Severe thunderstorm warning range in effect until 5 o'clock for southwestern Clark, Grant, Dallas, Washita, and also Hot Springs County here is going to go until 5 p.m. this evening. Main threat's going to be for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. And Derek, I will say this. Your hail threat's starting to increase as well, almost 2-inch in diameter hail with that particular storm as well. So that may be because your colder air aloft may be trying to come in as well here. So that's something we'll keep an eye on here. But if you give me just a little bit of time, I'll cook that temperature map up for you so that we can do that here. So that's up to you if you want to do. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll switch it back over to you if you want to talk about that.
All right. So just again, just kind of going over a little bit of everything again. We don't have any warnings, any tornado warnings in effect at this time. So we are going to obviously keep our eye on things. Cameron, have you heard anything from the NWS in the last couple minutes regarding any potential warnings coming out? So again, so far the biggest thing exists. Our biggest severe threat is going to be from the Louisiana border up to I-40 for much of the rest of the evening. I think my folks in northeast Arkansas, not going to say all clear yet, but I'm going to say this rain shield will help to stabilize our atmosphere up here in places like Jonesboro, Pocahontas, over towards Bay, places like that. On down Wynn, West Memphis, and down, we're still going to have to watch for that possibility over the next few hours as well. So what we're going to do is, folks, we are going to take a break. We're going to kind of reset things, get everything reset, and we're going to come back live as needed. Obviously, if you have our YouTube, our 24/7 network, weather coverage will continue there, but we are going to take a break and kind of reset everything, and we will be back as conditions warrant right here on your source for all things Arkansas weather.
one last thing I was going to add on to. No, you're good. One last thing I was going to add is for those that are watching this, make sure that you have our weather app downloaded. You know, I've had a lot of people contact me and say, hey, thank you for the early heads up and everything like that. As a fair reminder, we have our 24/7 channel on our weather app, guys. That is going to be Arkansas Weather Watchers is going to be our weather app. So go download that. It will help you stay ahead of the game when it comes to knowing when we go live, what we're talking about, and stuff like that here, guys. Okay, so other than that, we're going to send you guys back to regular programming. I will say this, and I'm going to double check something real quick because I want to make sure. Looks like, okay, hang on. Before we get off, okay, that goes to 4:30. Okay, we're good. So I will say this is that if another tornado warning gets issued or a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible gets issued, we will be live. We will be here, keep you guys informed, to give you guys wall-to-wall coverage here. So from myself, from John, from our chief engineer, Ryan, and from our president, Derek, this has been Arkansas Weather Watchers Live, severe weather coverage at this time.